health experts, and what I'm hearing is the Delta variant is so strong, it is eating the lungs. So that might be considered, I'm thinking that that's responsible for this overwhelming surge in addition to the unvaccinated. And the chances of survival without vaccination are just so low and unlikely. And as you are, seeing people, I mean, I just cannot even imagine. Do you know why this would be happening? Are there other parts of the cell aside from the spike protein that have changed? Is it evolving in such a way? Do we know what's going on in terms of the mutation?
Yeah, the mutation, we don't know 100%. What we know for sure is definitely much more infectious than any other variants, 10 times more than before. How badly is it actually affecting the lungs? It looks like it's more severe. There's a recent study done from the UK that shows that the Delta variant does look like it's worse now than it was before. So there is suggestion that the virus itself is attacking different ways and attacking our immune system differently than it did before. We don't have all the details, but we do think not only is it more contagious, but likely more lethal having the Delta variant.
Well, are we seeing, so if it's eating the lungs, well, I don't want to say eating the lungs, being so severe in terms of how it's affecting the body differently, are we seeing that same diffusion into the system where it's having organ failure, inflammation? Are we seeing those symptoms? Are we seeing that as a result of this Delta?
Yeah, so what you're seeing, you're exactly right. Again, this gets back to the whole inflammatory response. So when there's when the inflammation in our body gets really revved up, it starts attacking predominantly the lungs. It's a respiratory infection, but then it can start infecting other organs. We have been seeing that as well. So it definitely causes multi-systems to have organ problems as well, not just the lungs. Starts in the lungs, but it can definitely spread elsewhere too, which is very concerning, by the way.
Right. I guess I'm thinking that that's why we're seeing so many people on ventilators, respirators, and being intubated, being on oxygen. And just last question for you. So I think I was thinking in terms of this, that if it was attacking the lungs so much, it makes it a quicker diffusion into the body. Is that safe to say?
Probably not necessarily because of the lungs, but just from the inflammation itself causes the rest of the body. So it's still the inflammation that's predominant, not just in the lungs, though, that's causing it. One thing also you have to remember, though, is that part of the reason we're having so much trouble is we still don't have a cure for this, the COVID-19. There are a lot of drugs out there to help with it. There's something called remdesivir, and if you use steroids called dexamethasone, but there's no cure. So if you get COVID, it's not like I can give you some IV medication or some pill that gets rid of it. It's really supportive care, trying to let the body fight the disease, and we're supporting you. So it's still important to remember, we don't have that great of treatments if you get COVID, but that's why the vaccine is so important, because if you have the vaccine, you won't even get COVID.
Dr. Letty, what are you seeing at community health?
It's really tough out there. It's really, I mean, and when I was just walking the hospital just a few minutes ago, there's just a lot of patients that are quite sick. Our emergency rooms are just overflowing with patients. There's just a lot of people coming in with a lot of symptoms. And I really just need to stress that if you get vaccinated, you can really help the hospital system, because we're getting so full with not just COVID, but everybody else. We don't have enough room to take care of all the patients we want to take care of. So it's gotten really, really tight in the hospital right now.
Yeah, sort of round two, I guess, a repeat of 2020. All right, well, any last words?
Oh, and like I said, just to help each other out. Just if you can get vaccinated, that's the biggest thing you can do. It really makes all the difference. And because eventually you'll know somebody that's gotten COVID. So do your best to get vaccinated and really help yourself, your family, and all of us as a whole.
Dr. Letty, thank you so much for your time and for all that you're doing. Appreciate it.